Hello, everybody. It's CEO Jimbo, James, and this is my show, CEO Jimbo, or playlist, or whatever you want to call it. I'm still working on radar, you'll find. This is a focus on radar before Pearl Harbor Day is kind of the focus, and it's sort of just in the spirit of Pearl Harbor Day is coming, and I'm just trying to be in that spirit a little bit. I meant to get some on Thanksgiving too, draw a turkey or something like that, but I just really haven't got around to that just yet. And hopefully I will. I think there's at least one more before Thanksgiving. This to kind of review, this is, you've seen, if you've watched some of the earlier videos, I think there's two other ones on radar. It started out, this is a plane that was destroyed in the attack of Pearl Harbor, but not at Pearl Harbor. There was another place, this Ewa Field, wherever that is, and so on. And so I'm trying to sort out radar for my own interest, as an inventor trying to make sort of a better collision avoidance instrument, whether it's radar based or newfangled and different. I'm not quite sure. This started with a solicitation for a U.S. Government small business innovation research project that I was trying to get for my company. It was, I believe, U.S. Navy, and they wanted something or another that was radar based that somehow I thought I could do. So I did the research on that and submitted the solicitation, and it was several years ago, so it's not fresh on my mind, and I don't know that I saved my solicitation even, or I've lost it in a move or something. Anyway, this is a cavity magnetron. This was a big breakthrough in radar development. I believe by the German, the Fourth Reich or Hitler regime or whatever came up with this, and then it got into Western hands, and it got even improved, so to the point where I guess our radar became better than their radar, and that's partially why we won the war and so forth. But anyway, this is the same thing that's in a modern day microwave, and I didn't bring it up before, but I'm in the school that I'm very careful with microwave ovens. I try not to stand next to them. I try to stand, as far away as I can, and still, sort of like, remember to get my things out of the microwave afterwards, kind of thing. So, like 10 feet clear across the kitchen, kind of thing. Because these, I think, do kind of put out sort of microwave energy that's supposed to not be good for you. Anyway, this came after Pearl Harbor. My focus is sort of like on just the question is, what radar was around right at the time of Pearl Harbor? Was there any radar, or did it all come after Pearl Harbor? And there's kind of a little bit of discrepancy in some of the things that people are saying, but it sounds like there was radar before Pearl Harbor Day. And it was sort of, I think, UHF based. And then sometime after Pearl Harbor Day, this invention came about, and it became microwave based on the microwave section of the electromagnetic spectrum, as opposed to the UHF, very high, ultra high frequency section of that. Anyway, kind of to cut to the chase, like right in about 1935, a lot of action happened where there was sort of like this contest back and forth going between radar and um, um, infrared radiation. And I think that there was sort of some scientific evidence that both had potential, but neither one really worked, on a large scale in aircraft and so forth. It was sort of like more laboratory. And anyway, it seems like there was like a radar experiment that kind of failed, and so the world kind of went back to IR, infrared um, um, scanning for whatnot for collision avoidance or detection of other aircraft and so forth. And then there was sort of a breakthrough where so and so they did sort of a real world thing with aircraft that detected ships. I think it was the United Kingdom, detected ships in bad weather in like the home field study or something like that. And that was like in about 1935 or something like that. And as soon as that happened, I think the range was like about 17 miles or something like that. 17 miles. I think this was it right here. So the world turned back to radar, saying, thinking that this is the way to go. This is actually working, and so on. And there was sort of like this these three people. This Taffy Bowen was sort of the guy that kind of was given this little radar and kind of worked on it, and it came up with going from like 3 watts to 100, 3 like kilowatts to 100 kilowatts, which was a big breakthrough. And this like up the range from like 17 miles to like 100 miles or something like that. And there was sort of the development of this research station for radar, this radar development team. With this Harry Tizard was a big name in this scientific study of air defense, early 1935. So this was all developing before Pearl Harbor, which was 1941, I think. So it was at least kind of getting into aircraft. I don't really know exactly what kind of ground detection they had. Like on Pearl Harbor, it doesn't seem like there was kind of much forewarning like in Honolulu. I don't think there was like radar scopes that were picking up the oncoming Japanese traffic or anything like that. I'm still kind of digging for that. You may know, that, and I don't, kind of thing. This is a Blenheim. This isn't completely new to me. But when I was doing that research project, I was telling you, I didn't actually do the project, but I did the solicitation to it. I was starting to make model airplanes. That's actually why I bought the giant Super Sportster here. I bought it not to go fly it for fun. I bought it to kind of do some experimentation for making that radar-based thing for the U.S. Navy, and so on. And I was making kind of a small plane similar to my Cub, my Viper Cub here. I was going to use that to kind of test fly, just kind of get, going and so on. And I built a wing for it. You can kind of see the wingtip for it there. And I built a second wing just like it in a different plane that was looking more and more like one of these things. It was like single engine, but I was kind of had the tail of this and kind of the fuselage of it and so on. So anyway, I was kind of thinking about kit bashing my own design into one of these just because it was kind of like looking like it and so forth. And I was studying radar, so I guess that's how I learned about the Blenheim, UK design night fighter, night something or another, night flyer fighter. The night fighters. You look up that on Wikipedia. That's where I got all these things. And this was a de Havilland Mosquito, which was interesting to me because it was made of wood. And I used to own a wood glider, so my heart kind of loves wood airplanes, and it was known to be really fast. And the BG-12 that I owned I thought was pretty fast. It was definitely a medium performance sailplane, if not high performance, at 36-to-1 glide ratio, um, and a good polar curve too. Anyway, these I'm learning more and more about these, and I was watching a video this evening, kind of about the first video that I really watched on it, and they the Germans enemy line was kind of tuning these by twisting them and getting the angles just right, I guess, to kind of pick up on the radars of the Allied forces had something on their tail. And so these were sort of like picking up the tail radar of the Allied forces or something like that, and so on. So it was kind of interesting. And so anyway, that microwave thing that I showed you was really the thing that sort of ended these big antler antennas. I think that the Allied forces were sort of doing that a little bit or something like that. And then it went to the dish because they could make this much smaller, and because they could make it smaller, they could fit it into a dish that that was on a gimbal that could be rotated up and down, left and right, and that kind of thing, and then it could be used to sort of aim and find things, I think. So anyway, that's where I'm at. There's more to it than that. Did I mention all these planes? This was a single engine. What is this? A fiery battle. This is the company, Fiery, whatever that is, and this is the name of the airplane, the Battle, which was a single engine kind of light bomber, I think is what they were calling it. And this was sort of instrumental in Allied forces radar. I think they had like radar domes on it and so on, and whatnot. My battery's going low. I think I've got probably an hour left still and so on, but I'll take that as sort of a warning to sum up. And kind of to finalize, this is kind of on a tangent here. This is FedEx. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this before, but there's an arrow right here. And I don't know if anybody's ever seen this. If you look at DHL, there's kind of a emblem right here, kind of between the D and the H, if you look at it really carefully. I'll let you kind of think about that and so forth, and see if it has anything to do with my discussion on World War II. Anyway, there may be more on this later because I'm kind of gearing up to, and this is all dealing with air navigation, really all kinds of navigation, but especially air navigation, I guess, and marine a bit too, and like collision avoidance, both on land and sea and so forth. And there was a collision in Europe between a DHL aircraft and a Russian aircraft, maybe now almost 20 years ago, 10 to 20 years ago, that I'm kind of paying attention to because I'm interested in trying to come up with something that's sort of complementary and additional to TCAS. And so on. So anyway, that's about it for this one. There's probably going to be at least one or two more on the same subject between now and Pearl Harbor Day, and then I don't really know where it's going from there. I may kind of go back to scientific stories. I've been wanting to do one on like the PSA flight. I think it's 172 or 182. I think it's 182, and that was in San Diego in the Cerritos. one. I've been kind of like watching videos on that, so maybe I'll kind of do that sometime. Anyway, hope you like this. Please give a thumbs up and subscribe and comment, and so on. If you have any ideas or suggestions as to what you would like me to research for you or something like that, please send a comment and I'll consider it at least. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye.